Liam, the man who got locked out of his car, was helped by a boy named Sam, who rode 14 miles in the scorching heat to retrieve the spare key. Although Sam declined any thanks, Liam felt he still owed the boy something. Liam made a plan to help Sam, but no one knew where the gift came from or why it appeared at just the right moment. What was certain, however, was that an unexpected gift was waiting for Sam, and it would change his life in ways he could never have imagined. Welcome back to Seeds of Goodness. Today I have another heartfelt story to share with you all, so let's begin. The late afternoon sun blazed over Nicholasville, Kentucky, on a humid July day in 2024, its heat rippling off the asphalt parking lot of Miller's General Store. Liam Stevens trudged out of the shop, a plastic bag swinging from his hand, milk, bread, a pack of batteries for his wife Ellen's radio. At 58, Liam was a man of routine, his graying hair cropped short under a faded ball cap, his brown eyes creased from years of squinting at blueprints as a retired draftsman. His pickup truck, a rusty blue Ford he'd nursed since the 90s, sat baking in the lot, its familiarity a comfort after a career of precise lines and quiet days. He fished in his pocket for the keys, then froze. His hand came up empty, the realization hitting like a punch. Keys and phone, locked inside. Liam circled the truck, peering through the dusty window. There they were, glinting on the driver's seat beside his worn leather wallet. "Damn it," he muttered, kicking the tire with a thud, the rubber scuffing his boot. He leaned against the hood, the metal hot against his palms, and let out a string of choice words. Sharp, frustrated, the kind he'd once reserved for stubborn contractors. Sweat beaded on his brow as he scanned the lot, empty save for a few cars, no one close enough to hear his grumbling. Ellen was home, 7 miles away on their quiet farm off Route 27, but with their only vehicle stranded here, she couldn't help. He was stuck, a draftsman without a plan. Across the lot, a teenage boy pedaled into view. Sam Carter, a lanky 17-year-old with a mop of dark hair plastered under a bike helmet, his red Schwinn creaking as he coasted to a stop. Sam was a summer fixture in Nicholasville, delivering papers, mowing lawns, saving for a beat-up car he'd spotted at Hank's auto lot. His blue eyes caught Liam's kick, his ears the muttered curses, and he slowed, curiosity tugging him closer. "Hey, mister," he called, braking near the truck. "What's wrong?" Liam straightened, wiping his brow, embarrassment flushing his cheeks. "Locked myself out," he said, gesturing to the cab. "Keys, phone, everything's in there. Boneheaded move." Sam hopped off his bike, propping it against a lamppost, and peered through the window. "Rough day," he said, his tone light but kind. "Got anyone to call?" "My wife, Ellen," Liam said, rubbing his neck. "But even if I could reach her, she can't bring the spare. This is our only ride. 7 miles each way, and I ain't walking in this heat." Sam tilted his head, then pulled a scratched flip phone from his pocket, a relic from his mom, Laura, who'd upgraded last year. "Here," he said, tossing it to Liam. "Call her. Tell her I'll bike over and grab the key." Liam caught the phone, staring at the kid like he'd sprouted wings. "That's 7 miles round trip, 14 total. You serious?" "Don't worry about it," Sam said, shrugging, his grin crooked. "I need the exercise. Been cooped up all week." Liam hesitated, the phone heavy in his hand, then dialed Ellen. Her voice crackled through, warm but worried. "Claire? Where you at?" "Locked out at Miller's," he said, glancing at Sam. "Kid here, Sam, says he'll bike over for the spare. You home?" "Yeah," Ellen said, surprise lacing her tone. 7 miles? Tell him to watch the heat. Keys on the hook by the door." Liam relayed it, handing the phone back. "She says thanks. And be careful. You sure about this?" Sam nodded, pocketing the phone. "Got water, got a bike, good to go. Back in an hour, tops." He swung onto his Schwinn, pedaling off toward Route 27, his silhouette shrinking against the orange horizon like a cowboy riding into the sunset, a movie scene Liam couldn't shake. The weight stretched. Liam paced the lot, the heat pressing down, guilt gnawing at him. A kid biking 14 miles for a stranger? He should have stopped him, found another way. At Miller's counter, Jenny Hale, the cashier with a quick laugh and a knack for gossip, leaned out. "Saw that boy peel off," she said, handing him a free iced tea. "You okay out here?" "Been better," Liam muttered, sipping the tea, its cold bite a small mercy. "Kid's fetching my key. Crazy, huh?" Jenny grinned. "That's Sam Carter. Good heart, always helping. Laura raised him right." An hour ticked by, the sun dipping low, and Liam's worry grew. Heat stroke, flats, a truck veering too close. Then, a red blur crested the hill. Sam, sweaty but upright, coasting in with a triumphant wave. He hopped off, breathless, and held out the key, its metal warm from his grip. "Told ya," he panted, grinning. Liam took it, relief flooding him, and dug into his wallet. "You're a lifesaver, Sam. Here, take 20. Get yourself something." Sam shook his head, stepping back. "Nah, keep it. Let's just say I needed the ride." He mounted his bike, tipping an imaginary hat, and pedaled off into the dusk, leaving Liam dumbstruck by the lot. He unlocked the truck, slid inside, and drove home, the key a small miracle in his hand. Ellen met him at the door, her silver hair glinting under the porch light, her brown eyes soft. "That boy's an angel," she said, setting out supper. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, a comfort after his ordeal. "You thank him proper?" "Tried," Liam said, sinking into a chair. "Wouldn't take a dime. Rode off like some cowboy." They ate, the farm quiet save for crickets. But Liam's mind stayed on Sam, 17, biking 14 miles, no reward but a grin. He'd built homes with less grit. Sleep came slow, the day a sketch in his draftsman's brain, a stranger's kindness, a debt unpaid, a kid who'd vanished into the Kentucky sunset, leaving a mark Liam couldn't erase. The twilight deepened over Nicholasville, Kentucky on July 15, 2024, the sky bruising purple as Sam Carter pedaled his red Schwinn down the winding gravel of Old Mill Road. At 17, he was a wiry figure, his dark hair plastered with sweat under his helmet, his blue eyes glinting with a quiet satisfaction as the humid air cooled against his skin. The 7-mile ride back from Liam Stevens' farm had left his legs aching, the round trip totaling 14 miles under a relentless sun, but his grin held firm. He'd handed Liam the car key an hour ago, coasting into Miller's general store lot like a hero in one of those old westerns his mom, Laura, loved. Dusty, triumphant, riding off without a backward glance. Sam's home loomed ahead, a modest trailer perched on a patchy lot, its siding faded from years of Kentucky summers. Inside, Laura Carter stirred a pot of chili on the stove, her auburn hair tied back with a fraying scrunchie, her green eyes sharp despite the fatigue of a double shift at the diner. A widow since Sam was 5, his dad lost to a logging accident. She'd raised him alone, stitching together a life from waitressing tips and stubborn hope. Sam kicked off his sneakers at the door, the key-fetching tale spilling out as he slumped into a chair. "Guy locked his keys in his truck at Miller's," he said, gulping water from a chipped glass. "Biked to his place, 7 miles out, 7 back. Got him sorted." Laura turned, spoon pausing mid-stir, her brow furrowing. 14 miles? In this heat? Sam, you could have keeled over." "Had water," he said, shrugging, his grin crooked. "Needed the ride. Been lazy lately. He's fine now." Laura shook her head, a smile tugging her lips. "You're too good, kid. He offer you anything?" "Tried to give me 20, Sam said, setting the glass down. "Told him no. Felt good just doing it." She ladled chili into bowls, her voice soft. "That's your dad in you. Always helping, never asking. Proud of you, Sam." They ate in the trailer's cramped kitchen, the fan whirring overhead, the radio crackling with country tunes. Sam didn't mention the ache in his calves, the way his tires had wobbled on the rutted road, or the quiet thrill of Liam's stunned face. He kept it light, talking about his paper route, the car at Hank's he'd nearly saved enough for. But Laura saw it, the spark in his eyes, the same one his dad had when he'd hauled logs for neighbors after storms. She didn't push. Sam's heart was his own, a compass she trusted. 7 miles away, Liam Stevens sat at his farmhouse table, the aroma of Ellen's meatloaf filling the room as the crickets chirped outside. Ellen, her silver hair glinting under the kitchen light, set a plate before him, her brown eyes soft with curiosity. "That boy, Sam, really biked all that way?" she asked, slicing bread from a loaf she'd baked that morning. 14 miles total, Liam said, fork pausing mid-bite. Handed me the key like it was nothing, wouldn't take a dime. Rode off into the sunset, Ellen, like some cowboy in those old movies. Ellen chuckled, sitting across from him. Sounds like a good kid. You gonna let it slide? Liam chewed slowly, the meatloaf grounding him, but his mind churned. Can't, he said, voice low. Kid saved my hide. Stood there an hour in that heat, swearing at myself till he showed up. Gotta do something. Money didn't work, Ellen said, sipping tea. What's he need? Dunno, Liam admitted, rubbing his neck, the draftsman's precision in him itching for a plan. Jenny at Miller's said his name's Sam Carter, Laura's boy, works odd jobs, good heart. I'll figure it out. Sleep eluded him that night, the farmhouse creaking as he tossed in bed. Ellen's soft snores a steady hum beside him. Sam's grin flashed. 17, biking 14 miles, no reward but a shrug. Liam had built homes, drafted plans for bridges, but this kid's grit outshone his blueprints. He thought of his own youth, scraping by, no one to toss him a line, and the debt grew heavier. By dawn July 16th, he rose, the idea taking shape like a sketch on graph paper. Find Sam, thank him right. At Miller's that morning, Liam lingered over coffee, the shop buzzing with locals, farmers, clerks, the hum of small-town life. Jenny Hale, the cashier with a quick laugh, leaned on the counter. Back so soon? She teased, refilling his mug. That cowboy kid still on your mind? Yeah, Liam said, stirring sugar. Sam Carter, know where he's at? Jenny nodded, wiping her hands. Lives off Old Mill, trailer with the blue shutters. Delivers papers, mows lawns. Laura's kid, tough gal, works at Rosie's diner. Liam tipped her $1, the plan firming. He drove to Rosie's next, the diner's neon sign flickering as he stepped in. Laura Carter bustled behind the counter, her apron stained with grease, her smile worn but warm. Coffee? She asked, eyeing him. Black, Liam said, settling on a stool. You're Sam's mom? Laura paused, her green eyes narrowing. Yeah, why? Met him yesterday, Liam said, sipping the bitter brew. Locked my keys in my truck. He biked 14 miles to get my spare, saved me. Wouldn't take a dime. Laura's face softened, pride flickering. That's Sam, always helping. Said it was no big deal. It was, Liam said, voice firm. Owe him something? Any idea what he needs? Laura hesitated, stirring a pot behind the counter. He's saving for a car. Old junker at Hank's. Few hundred short, but he won't take handouts, stubborn like his dad. Liam nodded, the sketch complete. Thanks, Laura, I'll sort it. He drove home, the truck rattling past fields golden with summer, Ellen waiting on the porch with iced tea. Found him? She asked, handing him a glass. Yeah, Liam said, sipping. Sam Carter, saving for a car. Gonna make it right tomorrow. Ellen smiled, her eyes crinkling. Knew you wouldn't let it go. What's the plan? Something he can't refuse, Liam said, the draftsman's mind clicking. Gratitude a blueprint he'd build with care. The day stretched on, Nicholasville humming with its quiet rhythm. But Liam felt it. A debt to a kid who'd pedaled through the heat. A cowboy whose ride had redrawn his day. A spark he'd fan into something more. The morning sun rose over Nicholasville, Kentucky on July 16, 2024, its golden light filtering through the dusty blinds of Liam Stevens's farmhouse, casting stripes across the oak table where he sat sipping black coffee. At 58, his graying hair peeked from under his faded cap, his brown eyes sharp with a draftsman's focus as he traced a plan, not on paper, but in his mind. The events of yesterday, locking his keys in his truck, Sam Carter's 14-mile bike ride to fetch the spare, had kept him awake, the boy's grin a stubborn sketch he couldn't erase. Ellen shuffled in, her silver hair glinting as she poured tea, her brown eyes catching his restless energy. Still on about that kid? She asked, setting a plate of biscuits before him. "Can't shake it," Liam said, breaking a biscuit, steam rising. Sam Carter, 17, biked 7 miles each way for a stranger wouldn't take a dime. Gotta thank him right. Ellen nodded, her smile soft. "Laura said he's saving for a car. That's your angle?" "Yeah," Liam said, sipping coffee, the bitterness grounding him. "Kid's got grit. Deserves more than a pat on the back." After breakfast, Liam drove his rattling Ford to Hank's auto lot, a gravel patch on the edge of town lined with rusting relics. Hank Grayson, a burly mechanic with a gray beard and grease-stained hands, leaned against a faded Chevy, wiping an oil rag as Liam approached. "Morning, Claire," Hank said, his voice a low growl. "Truck acting up again?" "Nah," Liam said, tipping his cap. "Heard Sam Carter's eyeing a car here. Junker he's saving for." "Which one?" Hank pointed to a dented '98 Honda Civic, its green paint chipped, tires bald, but serviceable. "That's it. Runs rough, needs work, but solid. $300. He's short 100 last I checked." Liam nodded, the plan clicking like a well-drafted blueprint. "I'll cover the 100. Make it his. Don't tell him it's me. Say a buyer backed out, price dropped. Deal?" Hank raised an eyebrow, then grinned. "You're a softy, Stevens. Done. Call him tomorrow, say it's ready." Liam handed over the cash, crisp bills from his savings, and drove off, the truck rumbling past fields golden with summer. He stopped at Miller's General Store, picking up a small gift, a sturdy bike lock, something Sam could use, wrapping it in plain brown paper with a note. "For the cowboy who saved my day." Jenny Hale, the cashier, smirked as she rang it up. "For your bike, kid?" she teased. Something like that," Liam said, pocketing the change. "He'll get it tomorrow." That night, Liam and Ellen sat on their porch, the crickets chirping as fireflies blinked in the dusk. "Think he'll take it?" Ellen asked, her tea steaming in the cooling air. "Hope so," Liam said, rocking the swing. "Kid's stubborn. Wouldn't take 20 yesterday. This way he won't know it's charity." Sleep came easier, the debt lighter with a plan in motion. July 17th dawned bright, the heat already pressing as Liam mowed the lawn, the hum of the mower a steady rhythm. At noon, a red Schwinn crested the hill, Sam, pedaling hard, coasting into the driveway with a grin. Behind him rolled the green Civic, Hank at the wheel, honking as he parked. "Mr. Stevens!" Sam called, hopping off his bike, his helmet dangling from the handlebars. "You home?" Liam shut off the mower, wiping sweat from his brow as he walked over. "Sam, good to see you. What's this?" Sam gestured to the car, breathless. "Got it. Hank called this morning. Said the price dropped to 200. Had enough saved, picked it up an hour ago. Wanted to show you." Hank climbed out, tossing Sam the keys with a wink at Liam. "Runs like a charm. Well, mostly. Kid's earned it." Liam's chest swelled, a draftsman's pride in a plan well executed. "Hell of a ride," he said, clapping Sam's shoulder. "Congrats, son." "Thanks," Sam said, his blue eyes shining. "Couldn't have done it without yesterday. Riding out here got me thinking I could push harder." Liam pulled the wrapped bike lock from his pocket, handing it over. "For you," he said, voice gruff. "Next day delivery, figured a cowboy needs to keep his horse safe." Sam tore the paper, his grin widening at the lock and note. "This is awesome. Thanks, Mr. Stevens. Didn't have to." "You didn't have to bike 14 miles, Liam shot back, smiling. "Call it even." Sam laughed, pocketing the lock, and Ellen stepped out, her apron dusted with flour. "Stay for lunch," she said, her tone warm. "Got lemonade and sandwiches? Celebrate that car." Sam hesitated, then nodded. "Sure, thanks, Mrs. Stevens." They ate on the porch, ham sandwiches, tart lemonade, the summer breeze rustling the oaks. Sam talked about his paper route, his mom's chili, the car's quirks. Hank had warned him about the clutch. And Liam listened, the boy's energy a spark he'd missed in his quiet years. Ellen slipped Sam a jar of her peach jam. "For Laura," she said. And he left, the Civic rumbling off, the Schwinn strapped to its roof. Days later, word spread. Jenny at Miller's bragged about that Carter kid's car. Laura thanked Ellen at the diner, her eyes misty. Sam fixed the Civic's muffler with Hank's help. drove it proudly through town, the bike lock a constant on his Schwinn. Liam tinkered in his shed, sketching a birdhouse he'd build, Sam's grit a nudge to dust off his tools. By August, Nicholasville buzzed with small acts. Hank tuned a widow's tractor for free, Jenny slipped a kid a candy bar, Laura baked pies for the church fair. Sam mowed an extra lawn, passing Liam's trick of sharpening blades to a neighbor boy. Liam finished the birdhouse, hanging it by the porch, its lines clean and sure, a draftsman's gift to a summer that shifted his world. One evening, Ellen found him there, rocking the swing, the birdhouse swaying. "That boy lit something in you?" she said, her voice soft. "Yeah," Liam said, gazing at the sunset. Sam's ride replayed, a cowboy's silhouette against the orange sky. Next day he showed up with more than a car, brought me back a bit. The farm settled into dusk, Nicholasville humming on. A town touched by a kid's petals, a driver's thanks, a cycle of kindness rolling forward 7 miles at a time.